Today on the USA News, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu suffers a major blow. Plus, is Tel Aviv under unnecessary attack? Get all the breaking details next. Hey folks, welcome to the USA News. We begin today with a major defeat suffered by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, he has survived 2 votes of no confidence in the past month, but today was a third one, and this time it was in his own home turf. The Knesset, the Israeli parliament where his right-wing political party suffered a major blow. Now this could spell trouble for Bibi, as they say, because it now puts him in a very precarious position going forward. Now let's break it down what happened today. No. 1. Netanyahu's right-wing party, which is called Likud, remember this is his home base, his power base. It's the party that he has led for decades. Well, they put forward a motion before the Knesset today, before the Israeli parliament today, on the issue of, the recent clashes between Israel and Hamas. And they said, hey, let's have a vote here in the Knesset, a vote of confidence in the government. Basically, we want to send a message of support to our troops, show the world that we are united behind the Israel Defense Forces. So Bibi and his right-wingers thought, okay, this will be a slam dunk. This will show the world that we are indeed united behind the IDF. But it was anything but a slam dunk. In fact, it ended up being a major defeat for Bibi. Here's why. His own right-wing party, his own coalition partners, refused to back this resolution. They voted against it. So you had members of Bibi's own party saying, hey, wait a minute, we don't even support this resolution. What are we doing here? This is not helpful. So it was defeated 63-28. Now, obviously, that was not a good look for the Prime Minister. And again, it was in his home turf. This was not on the streets of Tel Aviv or Jerusalem or in the West Bank, where there have been protests against him. This was in the Knesset, where he has the majority. He has the majority. And even his own party members are turning on him and saying, hey, we don't even support this resolution. Folks, that is very significant. And it goes to show you how much pressure, how much internal pressure Bibi is feeling from all sides these days. So again, this was supposed to be a show of support for the IDF. It ended up being a major defeat for Bibi. Now, the reason I mention this to you is because, number 1, like I said, it shows you the internal pressure that he is facing. But secondly, it may embolden the opposition. Remember just last week, you had that far-left member of the Israeli parliament? It's an Arab member, and he called for, of all things, the resignation of Yoav Gallant, the Israeli defense minister. That motion failed. But you can see the writing on the wall here that Bibi is in trouble. Now, he has survived 2 votes of no confidence. There was a third one today that was defeated. But he is in trouble. And it may embolden the opposition, not just the far left, but also the far right, to say, you know what, we need new leadership in Israel, especially at the helm of the IDF. Now folks, if you watch us here on the newscast on a daily basis, you know that we have been very critical of the way that this war has been conducted, not of the necessity of the war. We fully support Israel's right to defend itself and its citizens. But we have been very critical of the way that this war has been conducted, the lack of preparation, the lack of readiness, and the heavy-handed tactics that have resulted in so many civilian casualties. Hey, listen, when you're in a war, you must be precise, especially in a densely populated area like Gaza. You must be surgical in your strikes. If you hit a hospital, or a school, or a mosque by mistake, that's bad. But if you hit it on purpose, that's nothing short of a war crime. And we have documented time and time again, the IDF has been far from precise in this operation. And so, folks, that's why we've been so critical. And today is another example. Today, Iron Dome was activated. Once again, several Iranian missiles were fired out of Gaza into southern Israel, and once again, Iron Dome was able to intercept them. But a few did get through. And according to Israeli authorities, one of those missiles hit a school in Ashkelon. It was an empty school, thank God. But still, you had a building that was damaged. The mayor of Ashkelon said, hey, we're done with this. We're done with Iron Dome. This is not acceptable. We do not want our children to be living in fear. And he said, hey, we cannot continue like this. So, folks, we have to ask the question, is Tel Aviv, is central Israel, is the greater, urban area around Gaza unnecessarily under attack? Are these Iranian missiles that are being fired almost daily now, are they unnecessarily hitting civilian areas? And I ask the question because Iran is perfectly capable of hitting military targets throughout Israel. We've seen it during the course of this war in October and in the weeks since then. So why are they continuing to fire missiles at Tel Aviv and other areas in central Israel? Doesn't make any sense. Remember, folks, Iran does not want a ground war with Israel. That's why they're firing missiles from afar. That's why they use proxies like Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, and the Houthis. They want to keep their distance from the Israel Defense Forces. So why are they putting civilians in harm's way by firing missiles that hit schools and mosques and civilian homes in southern Israel? Why? Well, folks, we are keeping a very close eye on it. And when we know more, you'll know more. Thanks for joining us here today on the USA News. Till tomorrow, God bless you, and remember, never hold your peace. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the USA News. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an upload. Tap the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. Don't forget to share your thoughts, insights, and comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.